It's Monday, February 6th. This is a pre-opening SPY report about a half hour to go before the open. Price is the pre-market range between the blue lines is skewing a little lower today. That's not surprising given the shooter bar we had on Friday. You can see here the pre-market range. It was lower a little bit overnight. It's come up a little bit off those lows, but we're still kind of biased to the downside. But nothing's really changed from the weekly analysis we discussed. That price is possibly coming down, but we still have, if we're going to follow through below this area, we still got to get below the midpoint of the prior week, which is this essentially this red line here. We have to get below the yellow line to turn the monthly chart back to red and possibly start some kind of failure here. So a lot has to happen, and the main thing is if you're looking at the broadening action on this kind of move down after taking out this low, we're getting a compound move that would really have to get to the bottom of this bar here to have outside, like 3, maybe 4 bars take out that low. And if anything, there's that fair value gap in here between the high of this bar and the low of this bar. So at any moment, price could fail, taking out this target and then start back up again. And that's sort of what you're really, more excited for given this type of chart. Again, that first move down has a pretty long way to go to fulfill its broadening objective. If it does, then it's gonna, turn a lot of things negative below these two, lines, the yellow line and the red line. So anyway, it's sort of a similar day to Friday where we gapped down a little bit below the low. The big difference is this one was a 2 down bar that had potential targets. This is now more continuation, and that becomes a little short-term exhaustion risk. So the question is, are we going to kind of start like Friday near the lows of the day and immediately start right up and then get a buy signal that took us only the pre-market highs? So if we get green here, this would be kind of the area. But, to me, since we're going to start with a 2 down kind of day, the only way to really get positive on this day is to cross above the midpoint of the prior day, which is near the pre-market high. So you're really going to want to see green follow through, get above that. If that happens, you can take the first trade, see if it goes there. If it does go there and you miss the first trade because you don't want to get long, then you can look for that first pullback and maybe buy and see if we can get the outside day back to the highs. But that's if something positive happens out of the gate. More than likely, I think we're heading a little lower. It's just a matter of you got to be a little careful how much follow through you're going to get to these lines. But it's certainly possible, so you give it a shot and then monitor. If the first couple of bars really can't follow through, then get ready for some kind of reversal. If you spread out the 15-minute chart, you can see we're in a big uptrend. It's very logical to have kind of pullbacks, these things along the way, and then eventually resume higher. I just don't know if we're going to do it today. So the ideal type of trades, like I said, would be to come down here in the daily chart, not reach our target down here, and then eventually turn up, later in the week. So let's just see what happens today.